What's up, YouTube? If you're new here, my name is J.R. Smith, and today is the day that I can finally say I'm no longer just an incoming medical student, but I am officially a first-year medical student at the Mayo Clinic. Now, given the pandemic, we are beginning school online, and so I will be here beginning my medical school career, but the excitement levels are still at an all-time high, and I'm excited to bring you along for the ride. Now, the first few days are just an orientation to the program and the school, and so there's not too much stress going on right now. But if you're familiar with Mayo, you may know how important their dress code is and how much they value a formal kind of dress. So even though we are starting online and I'll be in my office, I still have to be business formal. So you can see I have my suit over there and I can't have a do-rag on and a t-shirt. So first thing we gotta do is get dressed. We are officially suited and booted. It feels good to be in a suit. It feels good to kind of be in this kind of vibe as I get going on my first day. The majority of what's going on is just an overview of the campus and of the curriculum and things like that. We're gonna meet a ton of staff and faculty, and we'll be able to introduce ourselves not only to the staff and faculty, but to our fellow classmates. So that's gonna be fun and that's exciting. I know a few of my classmates so far, but it's gonna be nice to kind of have all of us together for the first time. And I'm not technically booted, but I do have these cool socks that my father-in-law got me. They have a lot of like medical related images on them. I'll make sure you guys don't see too much of the boring stuff, but if there's anything interesting, don't worry, because I'm gonna make sure I show you guys. All right, see you guys soon. All right guys, so day one is officially over. I've spent about 4 hours in my suit, sitting at my desk, listening to faculty and staff go over just a brief orientation of everything, but a few things that you may be interested in. By starting medical school during the pandemic, things like just overall in-person activities are limited. So group assignments, those are going to be limited. Basic doctoring courses where we actually get to practice in simulation centers on how to, take physicals and exams and things like that. That's going to be limited, and even in our anatomy lab, usually we're able to actually dissect cadavers ourselves, but they're going to be dissected already, and we'll still be able to go into the cadaver lab and learn structures, but it will be in a different situation. So a ton of tough news, I guess, to handle just for our class based on everything, but such is life. COVID came in, sacrifices had to be made. The only thing we can do is move forward. Ultimately, starting med school during the pandemic is going to bring a ton of challenges, but hopefully it also brings unique perspective to just medicine as a whole that down the line we'll be able to appreciate. So that's the silver lining. That's my optimism kicking in. Tomorrow is a similar day, wearing a suit, doing more orientation stuff. I will fill you guys in then. But now I'm going to go maybe have a glass of wine with Madison and hang out with Blaze. So I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe in a different suit. Let's see. We are officially done with day 2 of orientation. I didn't show you guys the start because I didn't want you to see me wearing the exact same suit from yesterday, because that's what I did. But it was a lot of the same. We had a lot of bookkeeping things. We also had a really cool opportunity. We're starting this year with biochemistry and histology, and our TAs in biochemistry offered to hold a Zoom meeting to kind of go over Anki, which is an app that kind of promotes spaced repetition and just really helps with memorization. And that was incredible. Most medical students and now pre-meds at this point are using this app and using this tool for preparation for step 1 or the MCAT and some of these larger tests where you have to kind of remember a lot of material. So it was nice to be able to have our TAs in our biochemistry course kind of go over how they used it and some of the things that we should be thinking about when we're using it, just to kind of make everything easier. We also got our first assignment, which is cool. We've been kind of sitting on our hands for the past few weeks, and so it's nice that we can kind of get our feet wet, and it makes it even easier that it's kind of a group assignment, a little less stress associated with those. But one thing that did add to the stress of the day is that I did receive notice from a journal that I submitted an article to before I moved to medical school that they reviewed it, and I have some edits to make on it, which is usually a good sign. When the journal gets back to you with suggested edits, it kind of suggests that, after you do these edits, that it will be accepted. So it's a good sign, but it means more work. So with that being said, now I have to kind of manage getting ready for my 3rd day of orientation tomorrow, doing my part in the group assignment, which is going to be due next Wednesday, and also making sure that I get these edits turned back into the journal in a timely manner So med school went from 0 to 100 real quick, but I've been chilling for so long that now I'm down to work. I'm rested, I am prepared to get going, and might as well throw myself in the fire because that's what makes diamonds. So now one thing that I usually do when I kind of feel overwhelmed with things to do is I start by just kind of planning out how I'm gonna accomplish all of this. After I kind of write it down on paper, how it can get done, it just relieves a lot of the stress of feeling like I have so much going on and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is finally update my calendar, update my to-do list, my task list, all of these things that I use in this app called Notion. I will be making a video of kind of how I use this app as kind of my overall total bookkeeping source of everything that kind of keeps me organized. But the first thing that I have to do is just make sure I have a plan to accomplish all of this. And then once I have a plan, it's just as simple as going through and doing what I wrote down, which is easy. All right, so I got everything planned. I have all of my assignments written down, everything that I need to do for each assignment, and that just already took a load off of my shoulders. And I do want to take one quick second and just let you know that my classmates are amazing. We have a group project like I talked about, and one of my classmates has just taken the lead and wrote an email to us saying I couldn't help but to do as much as I can basically on this assignment to lighten the load for everyone else during our first week. So that just goes to show how cool my classmates are. Thank you. And now that I don't have too much stress, I don't feel like I actually need to do anything else tonight. I'm gonna do a lot of work tomorrow morning because our final orientation doesn't start until 1:30 p.m. So I have some time in the morning to kind of do some stuff, and that's when I'm at my best. So now I'm gonna have dinner with my wife and watch some Netflix. And that is how I'm gonna end my night. Bye-bye. Whew. All right, guys, it is now day 3 of my first week of med school. It's about 8 in the morning. I spent the earlier parts of the morning hanging out with Madison, but like we talked about yesterday, I have some work to do. I don't have anything mandatory until this afternoon. I have a lot that I need to do this morning, and it feels weird because the first few days I really didn't have work to do. I had the excitement of starting med school, but now that I actually have things to do, things going on, it kind of makes me feel more like a med student, and I have to kind of embrace that motivated drive to just get stuff done and be at my desk and do work and stuff. So that's a unique feeling for today, and that only came day 3, which is nice. I had the first 2 days just to kind of be a med student, not have the responsibilities, but now I have some responsibilities. And also, most of you know, I live at a home, so I just have to do some home maintenance stuff, and that includes mowing this lawn. So that's gonna be part of what I try to get done before the orientation stuff starts this afternoon. But I'm motivated, I'm excited, I have my caffeine in me, and we are ready to be a med student today. So now it's about 10 a.m. I just finished about 2 or so hours of work on my research that I have to do. I still have to mow this lawn, and I'm finally getting around to cooking eggs, my go-to, the one thing I know how to cook. Madison does everything else. But I need to get some food in my system. We also have a few modules that we have to do in preparation for our first biochemistry class on Monday. And I wanna do all of these things before our Zoom meeting, which is in about 3 hours. So it's gonna be cutting it close. I wanna at least see everything that I need to do. If I see it, then I can at least have an understanding of how long it will take, what all I will be responsible for, and that will just, give me a little more peace with it. So we're gonna try to get as much done as we can before 1:30, before the Zoom meeting starts. And I will see you guys soon. All right, it's about 10:30. Got my main man out here with me, rocking, making sure the block is safe. Gotta make sure that my house is not the disgrace of the block. Gotta keep the house looking nice. So, but do this as quickly as possible so that I can get back into my kind of med school focus and move on with the day. About 75% of the way done with the lawn, but look who came to help with the weed whacking. Hey! All right, we are done with the lawn. It's about 11:30. I'm gonna hop in the shower, get ready for the rest of the day. Even though we got a Zoom meeting, can't be showing up to the Zoom meeting stanky. So I am out of the shower. It's almost noon. I threw a button up on today's Zoom meeting. It's not business formal, it's business casual, so I hope this works. And since it's day 3, getting a little more comfortable with how things are going, I have sweat shorts on instead of dress pants. So hope that works out. Hopefully I don't have to stand up. I'll let you know if I get embarrassed. My classmates, if you're watching, you're probably laughing at me. I am wearing sweat shorts. But I did want to note something that I found extremely interesting just about medical school, something I did not expect coming in, and that's just how collaborative everything is. Medicine has a bad rap about its competitive nature, where everybody is out to get each other, out to be the top dog, and that still may be the case in some schools where there's pass-fail or ranking systems, but from my experience, this could not be further from the truth. My classmates have done things like pitting together calendars so that we all know exactly what's coming up, what's due, sending out reminders about what time the Zoom meetings are, certain opportunities we can take advantage of, just it's overflowing with information and help, which is something I was not expecting and something that I am so grateful for. And just makes me that much more excited to kind of begin this medical school experience with these people. I hope that this is the case for most people in medical school, but it's something that I wasn't expecting, but I'm proud and happy to be a part of, and happy to be able to tell you guys that medical school may not be the cutthroat kind of thing that you expect. I will see you guys in a little bit. I'll recap what the Zoom meeting is like and everything like that later today, but now it's time to get back to work. What's up, everybody? My name is JR, legally John Rudolph, but everybody calls me JR. It's a little easier. Other than going to the same high school as a fun fact is that I make YouTube videos. Day 3 is officially over. We just finished our final Zoom call of the entire orientation week. It is 5:30. I've been in my room for a while, which is nice, because I spent a lot of time making this space as comfortable as possible for myself, which I advise everybody to do, because almost all students everywhere are going to be spending a lot of time in their office spaces, bedrooms, kitchen counters, whatever, to do their schooling, with everything being virtual. So make that as comfortable as a place as possible. But I'm excited to now get out of this room, spend some much needed time with Madison, again, my top priority, and just kick it. It's nice that I got a lot of work done in the morning, which is usually when I'm my best self, and it also gives me the opportunity to not feel too much pressure to do work in the evening. So I think today I'm going to give the rest of the day off and just hang out and kick it, see what the rest of the family's up to, and then get back to work tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Good morning, YouTube. We are on day 4 of my first week of medical school, and I don't have anything mandatory to attend, which will probably best simulate what a typical day of medical school looks like. So I have a lot of time to be able to just get some things done that I want to get done, kind of get myself as centered as possible for the first few days. Orientation threw a lot of information at us, and it's nice to kind of have a day where I can step back, get myself centered, get myself focused. I know what I need to do. I know the massive amounts of resources that I have at my disposal, so now I can kind of figure out which of those I'm going to use. I can start studying in a way to prepare for Monday, and I can start using some of those resources to see what is going to best fit for me. And of course, I'm going to let you guys know, kind of how I study, some of the resources that I use in a future video, but it's nice to be able to have a day to just kind of get centered. I'm going to start working on this group research assignment that I'm going to be doing, because we have a call tomorrow morning that's going to be going over all of that, so that's going to be nice. And I'm actually excited to start learning about a case and a disease and start being able to kind of collaborate with my classmates on how we're going to present on this. So I'm excited just to kind of get myself centered today. So the first thing I'm going to do is just write my to-do list for the day. I think when you have a ton of free time, it can be a blessing and a curse, because with time can come complacency sometimes. But if I have my to-do list, or I have everything that I know I need to get done for the day written and constantly up on my computer screen, it kind of at least gives me a sense of urgency to be productive. All right, so I've just finished doing some research on the disease that my group was given for our group presentation next week. It's called Leach-Nyhan syndrome, and basically it's a mutation on the X chromosome that ultimately leads to a buildup of uric acid, and this buildup of uric acid leads to things like gout, kidney stones, behavioral neurological disorders, etc. And so basically my group has created subcategories because there's 11 of us in this group. And so we have to kind of figure out how we can all participate. So we have categories going over how the disease presents itself, the causes of the disease, how this disease is tested for, the treatment, and the outcomes. And so I'm working on the treatment with one of my classmates, and so I am now just kind of finalizing, my understanding on how this is treated. Unfortunately, there's not a cure, there's not a pill that you can take to make it go away, but management of diseases is also treating a disease. Tomorrow we have our meeting as a group where we'll kind of go over everything. We'll put together a little PowerPoint presentation. It's so low stress because 11 people in a group to go over one thing everybody will talk for 30 seconds or so. And so it's not like giving a presentation by yourself in the first week of class or anything. So low stress. I'm actually excited to be able to talk about this with all of my classmates and kind of get their perspectives on everything. But now that that is finished, I'm going to go and eat breakfast because it's 9:46 and I have not eaten yet. Right now, I'm gonna take me a break and get some food. It's Friday. Whoo, first week, med school orientation week is almost over. I know I didn't check in much yesterday, but it basically just consisted of doing some work, checking Instagram, doing some work, watching YouTube, doing some work, hanging out with Madison, doing some more work, playing with Blaze. And that's honestly probably what today's gonna look like too. I have more than probably the typical person would have during this orientation week just because I have a research project that I'm also finishing up. And so that's kind of time consuming. But for the most part, things have been great. I love this. I love the idea of just being in control of what I learn. Everything that I learn, I feel like it's purposeful, which already makes me feel like I want to learn it even more. But for the most part, things have been great. I'm super excited for next Monday. It's a bummer because I won't actually be able to sit next to my classmates and see them face to face. But I have my first lecture, and I just think, having a lecture in its own right was going to be different than just kind of looking at modules on a computer screen. So that's exciting. Other than that, I am just pumped to be here. Medical school is real. Like, I'm actually a medical student now. I feel more kind of comfortable in this setting. I don't have as much of the antsy, oh my goodness, things are starting kind of vibes that I started the week out with. I'm kind of settling into my role as a medical student, and that feels nice. This week has been eye-opening for sure, and I think most med school orientation weeks will be like that. You learn not only a lot about the school, about how to study and stuff, but you learn about the community that you're going to be spending the next 4 years of your life in, at least. Some people 4 to 7 MD, PhD, MD master degrees. People stay in med school for long periods of time, but having that community, I think, and knowing the community that you're going to be a part of is important, and that stretches even beyond your classmates, into the second, third, fourth years, into the faculty members, the staff, everything. So I think the biggest thing that I learned so far this week is just the community of people here are incredible from the top down, and that's the best thing that I got from this week, and I'm excited to keep going, see what next week holds, and we'll continue to go. And of course, I'm going to show you guys every part of the way. About to go eat some breakfast, enjoy the morning with Madison and Blaze, and chill for a bit before we get going on some studying. Peace.
Hey. Y'all know I had to stop by since I was in Rochester. Had to stop by. Bro!
What up?
What's up?
What's going on? How's it feel?
Oh my gosh, let's go! Oh my God. Holding on with one hand. Yes! Let's go!
All right, guys, I just got home. That was incredible. I challenge everybody to not only get to know your classmates, but to get to know their passions and interests and take part in those interests, because I found that I loved rock climbing. That was amazing, and it definitely won't be the last time I do it. But for now, about to head back inside, kiss the wife, take a shower, maybe take a shower and then kiss the wife. No, I'll kiss the wife and then we'll see what she lets me do. And then relax and maybe watch some Netflix. Life of a med student. Not too bad so far. All right, so it's about 10 p.m. Friday night. That means my first week is officially over. Orientation week is done. I'm about to get some rest. This weekend will just be more resting in preparation for next week. But I feel so blessed to be able to begin my medical career at such an amazing institution with such an amazing student body and just overall community to do it with. And I'm just excited, even though there's some challenges starting medical school during a pandemic, I'm excited for everything that the future has. And of course, I'm going to be bringing you along every step of the way. But until the next one, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys soon. Whew. We okay. It's okay. It's okay.